Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is your boy Nem. Spider-Man No Way Home just released their trailer yesterday, and let me tell you, that thing is banging. If you missed my live reaction to it, you can check the link that'll be in the description. With the movie only being about 3 weeks away, I figured we would go ahead and rank all the Spider-Man theatrical releases from worst to best. Will your favorite be at the top? Am I gonna get a lot of hate for this list? Am I wearing pants right now? All these answers and more right now. Let's get started. Coming in at dead last is going to be Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. I'm not going to beat around the bush with this one. The only reason why this one is so low is because they cast the most timid man on the planet, Topher Grace, to play Venom. I mean, who was watching that 70s show, saw Topher, and murmured to themselves, yeah, that's our Venom right there. That is our Venom.
God, make it stop!
I mean, for me, it was a super letdown to see the guy that looked like the dude from Eminem's Stand video playing Eddie Brock. And besides all that, why do we have so many damn villains in this film? The Goblin, Sandman, Venom, oh my god. Speaking of Sandman, I do feel for old Flint Marko. He was just trying to do right by his family. I mean, he was a criminal. Don't get me wrong, he was a criminal. But at least he tried. And that scene where he was coming out of the sand, oh my god, that was truly epic. And bruh, I got real tired of Mary Jane in this movie. We do not care about your small problems. I'm over here fighting Green Goblin, okay? Get out of here. And boy, oh boy, don't get me started on that daggone street scene where he's pointing and being all emo. Even when I was younger, I was like, yo, this is garbage. I really don't know what happened with this movie. I think maybe Sony interfered a little bit too much with it and didn't really give Sam Raimi the freedom that he needed to make the movie great. I think I read somewhere that they made him put Venom in the movie. He only wanted to use Sandman as the main villain, but they was like, hey, you gotta put Venom, come on now. Look, the movie sucked, okay? Let's move on. Coming in at number 7 is The Amazing Spider-Man number 2, starring Andrew Garfield. Now, this one got a low score because it was so many damn villains. Yet again, we got a cavalcade of carnivorous creatures. I mean, you got Electro, you got Green Goblin. I think they even tried to put Rhino in at the end. I was like, bruh, it's too many. I mean, they really did my boy Jamie dirty in this movie. And yeah, I remember when I was in the theater and he was Electro and they started doing that, he lied to me, they dapped. I was like, yo, this is corny. And Dane DeHaan, I don't know how to say it. That dude is a good actor. I remember first seeing him in Chronicle and I was like, yo, this dude's gonna be big. I don't know what happened, but his whole Green Goblin portrayal was just, it wasn't good. Now, to me, the best part of this film was the New York Times Square fight scene. That was super dope. People on the steps running away from the electricity while Spider-Man stopping their hands from touching the rails. And also, I'd like to throw in there that this is the best Spider-Man suit on film. I mean, it just looks, it looks great. But can we talk about that Gwen Stacy fall from the tower and Peter Parker didn't save her and her head smacked the concrete? Pap! Oh my God, no, that's too harsh. Coming in at number 6 is The Amazing Spider-Man. Unfortunately, these two movies are right next to each other. I mean, does anybody even remember what happened in this film? Some convoluted mess with his parents. Connors wants to turn everybody into lizards. I had to watch it again just to see what was going on. But we got another Uncle Ben dead on the floor because Peter didn't stop the bad guy. Oh my God. How many times are we gonna shoot Uncle Ben dead? Y'all know they got that new Spider-Man Disney Plus show coming out. They're gonna have to shoot Uncle Ben one more time. Now, one of the things that I really did like about this movie was that swinging scene. Woo! This is what Spider-Man swinging is all about right here. Ooh, look at this. Oh my gosh. Another thing that I liked about this film was that fight scene between the Lizard and Spider-Man in the school hallway. Oh yeah, that was badass. But then they started in with the Lizard dispersing the gas over the whole city to turn everybody into lizards. I don't know about that one, man. It kind of reminded me of when the Joker tried to disperse laughing gas over the city of Gotham in that first Batman movie. And look, I understand transforming into a living lizard can probably alter your mind, but come on now. That is not a solution to a problem. And what in the world? Why is everybody finding out his identity in this movie? Gwen's father, Gwen herself, the lizard? I mean, dude, can you keep a secret? God! Now we're getting into some really good Spider-Man films. Now, it's going to be really hard to rank the rest of these. With that being said, number 5 is going to have to be Spider-Man Far From Home starring Tom Holland. Like I said, man, I really like the rest of these films. I mean, look at the way they designed Mysterio in this one. I mean, I know it's supposed to be theatrical, but it looks dope to me. Now, this is the first MCU film that takes place after Endgame. You know, the movie where excuse me. The use of computer graphics and green screen in this film was awesome, damn near flawless. There's a lot of comedic scenes in this movie, but not too many that is overbearing. One of the things that did bother me about the storyline was Quentin Beck's plan to get Edith away from Peter played out a little bit too perfectly. Like, I don't know, man, everything just fell right into place. But man, those Mysterio illusions were so crazy. I mean, I'm not even in the film and I got fooled. I mean, And remember in Amazing Spider-Man where like a whole lot of people knew Peter Parker's identity? Well, they took it a step further with this one and just everybody knows now. And look, it's one thing about the MCU, they really know how to keep you on your toes. I mean, Nick Fury was a Skrull the whole time, that's crazy. Overall, I really enjoyed the film, it was really well done, and shall I say it was spectacular? At number 4, we got the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi original OG Spider-Man, the original gangster, the foist. But remember, just because you're the first, doesn't mean you're the best. The origin story. Look, at the time, everybody in this film was perfectly cast. Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin, perfect. Macho Man as Bonesaw, perfect. And look at Tobey Maguire putting on muscle for the role. I was like, this is the same guy that played Homer in Cider House Rules? Oh my God. And this is the movie where we got one of the illest phrases anybody's ever uttered.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
And yeah, this was the first time that we saw Uncle Ben getting shot on screen. Rest in peace. This is also that same movie where we got that super dope fight scene between Green Goblin and Spider-Man where he was doing all those twisting in the air like he was in the Matrix or something. Whoa! I really like this movie, although I did not enjoy how Willem Dafoe died. He was like, don't tell Harry. Oh, bruh. Mary Jane in this movie did a really good job. I don't know what happened with the latter films. She just got super annoying to me for some reason. All in all, an excellent movie. I would say it's one of the films responsible for our modern day superhero genre, including the first X-Men and the first Iron Man. Okay, now we got the top 3 films. So without any cheating, pause the video, go to the comment section, and try to predict what rankings I put the last 3 films in. Okay, so at number 3, we got Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, this is the first official Spider-Man film entry in the MCU, and I gotta say, it was superb. I think I like this entry a lot because it shows Peter Parker, as I used to read him in the comics, as a kid, okay? A quick-witted, friendly neighborhood Spidey high schooler with teenage problems, anxieties, and perspectives. Michael Keaton as the Vulture is actually amazing, one of the best casting decisions ever made. The introduction of Scorpion, you got the introduction of the Shocker, you got the introduction of the Tinkerer, and I didn't notice until recently the freaking Prowler. I had no idea that Childish Gambino was gonna be playing Aaron Davis. I think this film is really honest with the telling of, hey, kids are gonna be kids. Even if they're superheroes, they do mess up from time to time. To me, the best phrase of the film is when that guy was like, yeah, Spider-Man! And this movie got a lot of tense moments too, like that part where the Vulture finds out that Peter Parker is really Spider-Man and he's dating his daughter. Yo, he threatened the life out of that dude. I mean, he scared me. This movie was great. I was literally in the theater going, yeah, Spider-Man! Uh-oh, we got number 2. Now I gotta give it to Spider-Man 2 of the original trilogy, mainly because of these 2 words.
Pizza time.
They say a superhero movie is only as good as its villain, and let me tell you, Otto Octavius in this movie is super dope. Dr. Octopus in this movie was crazy. I liked Alfred Molina's take on the character. I liked the film's use of practical and special effects on those arms. And I liked the clever writing that explained exactly why he went crazy in the first place and became a villain. But let's back it up though. Bruh, everything's going wrong for this dude in this film. He's losing his girlfriend, he's losing his best friend, his Aunt May is losing her house, he's broke, and on top of all that, he's losing his powers. Hey, y'all remember that part where Peter Parker was telling Aunt May, hey, I'm responsible for your husband's death, and she was like, I'd have knocked your ass out, but then she held back, and she was like, I forgive you. You know on the inside, she was like, I'll kill you, boy. This is also the movie that had one of the greatest action sequences, the train scene. Although he was making one of the ugliest faces in cinematic history, this dude was holding on for dear life and saved those people. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there's something else that I really hated about Spider-Man 3. Remember that cafe scene where Peter turns around and sees Harry sitting at the table, and then a truck goes by and he completely disappears? That was so stupid. That dude is literally hiding under the table. And I really wish movies would stop doing this dumb trope. Anyway, back to Spider-Man 2. Everything in this movie is really well done. Every character has so much depth. And yet again, Mary Jane gets on my nerves because she runs all the way from her wedding to freaking Peter Parker's apartment to tell him that she loves him. Like, come on, dog. If I was her fiance, I'd be pissed, dude. Yeah, you already know what it is. The #1 spot has got to go to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Not only because of his epic cinematic style, unique animation, or superb storytelling, but because he's black. You see, that was a joke, but I already know that some of y'all was thinking that's why I ranked it so high anyway. Come on, man. Miles Morales on the big screen was so cool to see. And honestly, how could anybody look at this animation style and say, nah, this ain't it? Bruh, this is it. I would love to see more movies with this type of animation. I want to take a quick second to mention the soundtrack of this movie, which is probably the best soundtrack since Guardians of the Galaxy. Baby, I'm a red. Oh, I hope I don't get copyrighted. And Kingpin was a cool little villain. I mean, not little. I mean, look how big this dude is. I mean, that was a design choice, wasn't it? He was cool, but the Prowler though? Bruh, the Prowler was scary. Spider-Gwen and Peter B. Parker, really cool in the movie. They also got Dr. Octopus as a woman, which is a really nice choice. I'm gonna be real with you though, if you're just a human and you get punched by Spider-Man and you survive that punch, I don't know. We ain't gonna harp on it though, we're just gonna keep it moving. I love that Miles Morales came into his own, finding his own power and learning how to become his own true Spider-Man and save the day. With invisibility, electricity powers, and all the powers of Spider-Man, is this not the best Spider-Man? I mean, come on now. So that is my definitive list of all theatrical releases of Spider-Man. I know you don't agree with me, so go ahead and leave your list, your rankings in the comment section down below. Whether you agree with me or not, go ahead and leave a like because we're all nerds here and we can have civil discourse about these things. If you haven't already seen it, go ahead and check out my Marvel Cinematic Universe tier list. Link will be in the description. And until next time, holla back at your boy. Peace. I'm not wearing pants.